In case you missed the news this week, Statamic 6 has been released, and I'm really excited about this upgrade. Now, I have been building a bit of a long-term project using Statamic 6 for a couple of months now while it was going through alpha releases. And seeing the evolution of Statamic 6 over that time has been really impressive. The team have put in so much work in getting this up and running. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's giving us as developers a lot of additional features as well as an improved experience for our content authors too. So I think I've narrowed it down to 3 things that I'm really liking about it. So let's just jump in and have a look. Now, this is a Statamic 6 install. There's no starter kit. I haven't done anything fancy with it. I've just made a couple of little changes to demonstrate a couple of points. But this is the new UI. So it will take a little bit of time to get used to. I'm not going to beat around the bush, but the improvements that this is making, I think, are going to be fantastic for your users moving forward. And after all, ensuring that the content authoring experience for our clients is top shelf, I think is a really paramount selling point for Statamic. So I'm really excited to get this into the hands of our clients as well so that they can experience it too. Now, this first one, it's the command palette. Now, when we're in the CP, we can hit Command K and we get this command palette coming up. So, we see these palettes everywhere in our OS, in other apps, but we can search for things. So I want to search for about. And that's actually given us a couple of content results. So we've got an about page, we have an about Zach page, and about Toby page. Now, you can see if I just use the keyboard to go down and up, you can see that this one says English cats, this one says English pages. Now, out of the box, the main site is going to be called Statamic. Statamic is also multi-site. You can have multiple languages in it. So what I've done is I've just renamed that from Statamic to English. Because if you were having this in a multi-site in the real world, if you're searching for a page, you would want to make sure you're editing the right site's page. So if you had 2 sites, that could be English cats or German cats or French cats, whatever languages you've got set up. So I really like that we can now see that very clearly. But using the keyboard, we can go down and up, and then when we hit enter, we can jump straight to that page. So that's fantastic. We can then jump back and say, oh, what if we actually wanted to go to one of the other ones? We could go to About Toby. We can jump straight to that page as well. So that just makes it so easy to get around. Now, if we're working on this part of the site and we need to be going in and out of the blueprint for this quite a bit, now this is our cats collection. So if we search for cats, you can see we've got a couple of things. Some assets have come up just because there's some logic going in to go, oh, maybe you mean this. But we can also jump straight to our blueprint. And this makes it really easy to get around. So if we want to go back to the collection, Command K, cats, and we can just jump straight back to our entries. That's all with the keyboard. I've not touched the mouse at all for any of that. So I think when you get used to using the command palette and when your authors get used to using the command palette, they really will start to find just how, impressive it's going to be for them too. So I think that's really, really cool. Now, you'll also see assets. We can drag and drop them around. I just need to, dogs get featured so much. We need to have a look at Toby. Isn't he cute? Well, we better actually say Toby playing with his lobster, because we always want to have good alt attributes, don't we? Be more descriptive with his orange lobster. And yeah, because cats need to be represented a little bit more. There's Zach as well. Isn't he cute? Anyway, he's a monster. He is. He responds to monster. But anyway, cats, cool. Yes, what was I talking about? Yeah, UI. We can also use the breadcrumbs. I guess that's what you want to call them, to jump around as well. So if you are a mouse person, you can still actually jump around to these different areas too. If we're within a collection, we could then easily jump over to pages as well. So there's so many different ways to use the CP. You're able to go through and, do your different logo. You can also tweak the colors a little bit too. There's full light mode and dark mode support. So I think the CP overhaul, while it may be visually jarring to start with, is adding so much to the table that is going to really improve the life of your users, your customers, your clients. So I think that's awesome. The other thing that's come through with a lot of these, some of the fields have been updated a little bit. You can now collapse sections. You can now, the group, I really like how we can collapse and expand groups. The interaction to do that is now a lot smoother. I think it requires less clicks. It's more intuitive. And if you've got really busy interfaces for your blueprints, you can then pair those back. So I think there's a lot to play with. So get in, have a play around with it. So it kind of leads into the second one. And the second point that I really like about Statamic 6 is that it is a modern platform. It is requires Laravel 12. not Laravel 11, Laravel 12, even 12.40, I think it is. They've gone through and they've reworked everything from Vue 2 to Vue 3. So what is currently supported. It's all now being served with inertia as well. So if you're a Vue and an inertia dev, you're going to feel right at home being able to extend this too. What I think is so important about being a modern platform using modern tools and modern technology is it's something that you can continue to use moving forward. And if you're working on Statamic sites and Laravel apps, you don't want to be context switching between, maybe older technology and newer technology. The fact that the team has spent so much time on modernizing everything, bringing it forward is giving me a lot of confidence with the platform moving forward and recommending it to clients, knowing that it is something that is very front of mind for the core Statamic team to ensure that it does remain modern, up to date. And it means that we're able to get all of those lovely little features, both for Laravel, if we're doing some custom dev work within Statamic, as well as Statamic. With all these point releases that come through, we keep getting new features. So, composer update, do things the Statamic way, do things the Laravel way, to make your journey over time as we go into the future, no doubt Statamic 7 at some point, being able to have these smoother transition periods so that you remain on modern tech. And I just think that is so exciting. That's the nerd in me, I guess, freaking out a little bit more about it. So it's built on modern tech for a modern web audience, for modern developers. And if that sounds like you, it's a great time to get started with it and having a look at how it works. It's really turned into a very mature Laravel app, even though it is now on modern tech as well. So that's very cool. Now, that sort of leads into the third one a little bit. The UI that we're looking at here, they've actually created a UI library, basically. Now, this is good if you're going to be extending Statamic a lot. If you want to be creating your own add-ons, using this is going to be handy. So if we just jump across and go to statamic.dev, now down on this left-hand side, if we scroll down, we can go to View Components, and then we go to UI Components. And that's going to load up our storybook, which will talk all about these UI components. Now, Statamic can do a lot out of the box, but let's kind of face it, we all have those clients that want something a little different. Now, maybe you're an add-on developer and you're writing something that anyone could use, or maybe it is just a really specific thing for one client. You're now able to use a consistent UI library that means that your add-on or your custom dev work is going to fit nicely within the Statamic ecosystem and control panel without you needing to worry about all the specifics of the spacing and the sizing. So, they're saying here for the card, you don't need to do BG white P4, rounded border, shadow small. We can use the card component. So have a look through this list. There are a whole heap of different components and elements that we can use. Even something as simple as an avatar. If you need to list users within your own dev work that you're doing, use this component to make it a lot easier and a lot more straightforward. What I'd like to have a play around with is the ability to make a widget. And we can use some of those UI elements within our widget. So I thought that would be a great way to have a bit of a play around. So let's jump in and do that. Let's go to our terminal and go PHP, please make widget. Okay, let's call this not carts, cats. Cool. Doesn't look like Vite is set up for the control panel. Would I like to do it? Yes, I would. Okay, that's going and doing some things under the scene, behind the scenes. Now, this is going to be great for getting up and running with building things within the Statamic control panel, especially if you're just working in the site scope itself, not actually as a widget. So it's doing some of the heavy lifting. But if we check out our package.json file, we now have these cp dev and cp build commands. So that's really cool. Let's run that dev command. Let's get that running. Okay, cool. That's doing its thing. But what we need to do, I should probably point this out. Don't forget to import and register your widget view component. Important. Let's go do that. CP. Rightio, we want to import. So we're just going to use this as an example. So we want to import the cat widget from, it's going to be components, widgets, cats. There we go. Cool. And when Statamic is booting, that's where we're going to register it. So let's go statamic.components.register. We're going to call it cats. And we're going to pass it our cat widget. Cool. There we go. That should really be it. Let's hide that terminal window. Cool. Now, Have you played with CP widgets? If you haven't, check out the docs. Under config and Statamic and CP, this is where we can actually then define them. So let's go through and say type is cats. That's what we called it. Okay, let's refresh. Let's see what we've got. Cool, we got nothing. What's going on here? Let's go through this together. Let's go to our CP. Let's just see, are we actually loading? Yep, cool. Okay, so we're loading. We're just not actually pulling in that widget properly. So what are we doing wrong here? Let's go to our cat widget. It's just a view component. That's okay. Let's get rid of the hand though. I don't want the hand. I would like a cat. Let's go this cat. There we go. Okay. It doesn't help the fact that we're not seeing it, but that's okay. We're going to work through this together. So what are we doing? We've got Statamic. It's pulling in our JS file, our CP file. Now, one other thing we might need to do is we might also want our Tailwind file, just in case we want to do anything extra within our component. Within our widget rather. So let's see what is going on. So we're still not getting our widget showing. Okay, so type is of cats. That's exactly what we want it to do. We've got our cats widget. We're going to render our cats component. Oh, hang on. Do I need to be cats? Hey, there we go. Okay, we're doing it together. One little case is all it's going to take. But there we go. We've got our cat. Hello world. Okay, cool. Now, let's just have a quick little play with this, just to make it a little bit funky with what we can do. Now, if we jump over to our CP, we can also pass config options. So we could say, cat, let's go Zach. Okay, so what we can do, we're going to need a comma there. That's now passing this new variable across to our cats file. How cool is that? So what we can actually do is we can actually access this config. We want to get cat, and we're going to change this to be cat. So jump back over here, change that to be cat, and we're going to say hello, and we're going to change this to be cat. Let's go and check that out. What have we got? Hello, Zach. There we go. So if you were reusing your component, you can now make it a little bit dynamic. So we could actually add a second component for a second widget. Let's just copy this over because, you know, if you've got two cats, you're going to understand this. You need to be even and share things around. We now have Toby. We now have Zach. Okay, everyone's happy. Now, I was talking about using the UI component. So let's get ourselves going with this. Now, there is this Statamic CMS UI. This is where everything's going to live. So let's just make a button. Let's just keep it nice and simple. Okay, we're going to import button. We also want to just make space Y2. Let's give it a bit of spacing. And we just want to have button, and we are going to say hello, and we'll use our cat variable again. Let's check out what that's doing. There we go. Okay, now we love docs, don't we? Let's go over to our storybook docs, go to our button, and we can have a look at what we can do. So, we can make it a filled button or a ghost button, a pressed button, a primary button. Well, I want to make it the primary button in case we, retheme things. We want to make it stand out. So let's just put our variant in and refresh that page. And there we go. Hello, Toby. Hello, Zach. So we now have these UI components that match everything else within Statamic, but I haven't had to make a button. I can control the size, the style, the appearance of it, and it now fits within the Statamic ecosystem. So if something changes within the Statamic world, I can recompile my add-on or my project, and all of those changes will come through as well. So I think that's really cool. And it's not just about buttons. Like, what if you needed a calendar? Hang on. So can I just add calendar to my widget by using this? Well, let's give it a go. Let's just copy that. Let's just say we want to add our calendar. Remember, we've got to import it. Calendar. Let's see what happens. I've not tried this. Let's just check this out. Refresh our homepage, and look, we got a calendar, and it's even interactive. I haven't had to make a calendar. I've now used this UI widget. So I feel that this is opening up so many doors for developers to be able to build new things within the Statamic ecosystem, whether it's for a client, whether it's for an add-on. This UI library is incredibly powerful. Check out those docs. Look at everything that's available for you to make everything that you're creating a very unified experience for your authors. I know in Statamic 5 and in 4, if you're creating custom views, you need to do your own styles. You sometimes need to namespace things. It got a little bit clunky, and this completely works around that. Statamic itself is built using these components. Build your add-ons, build your functionality using these add-ons as well. I think that's really exciting to see what we're actually able to achieve now. So Statamic 6, as I mentioned, is available now. We've got our dashboard widgets. They don't do anything. They're not particularly pretty, but hey, we've been able to create widgets. We've been able to get them up and running using these UI components. Very, very cool. We've talked about our command palette. So Command K to get this up. How awesome is that? Just get going, have a play with it. Statamic new, and to create your site, check out the docs. If we go to Learn Statamic, jump up to the top and go how to install Statamic. Couldn't be easier than that. Get going, have a play. It's a great way to get in there. So that's really what I'm loving about it. So the command palette and the new UI is really cool. I love that it's a modern framework. That's really, really cool. So that's giving me a lot of confidence moving forward. And I love that when I have to do some more custom dev work, which I know is going to be happening in the future, I've got that entire UI library available to me to build interfaces within Statamic without having to worry about building all of those components myself. So I think that's really, really cool. Have a look at Statamic 6, give it a play, see what you think, and see how you feel as a developer, and see what your content authors are going to say as well. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your clients think as well. And yeah, I've got a couple more things up my sleeve I want to have a chat about. So yeah, I will be back with you soon. See you later.